It has been 80 years since the Holocaust ended, and yet we are still seeing the same hatred being pushed on a new generation. Recast in political rhetoric, popularized with hashtags and slogans, and infused with rhyming catchphrases, it is easy to see why people are having trouble identifying hate, even when it's happening right in front of them. Anti-Semitism is exploding around the world in a way that it hasn't since the Third Reich. Inflamed by Hamas's massacres on October 7th, 2023 in Israel, hatred toward Jewish people has manifested in the form of rallies in major cities, threats and assaults on college campuses, and all manner of horrific hate speech across social media platforms. Yet, this phenomenon has a history spanning millennia, a long and destructive history with roots in humanity's rebellion against God and His purposes. Why is there such long-standing hatred toward Jewish people? From a biblical perspective, it is because Israel is called to bless all the earth. The Jewish story begins with Abraham. God appeared to Abraham and promised to make him a great nation, one who would bless the world. Genesis 12:3. Since then, Jewish people have played a central role in God's plan for world redemption, and the devil has opposed this plan. Throughout the Old Testament, Jewish people faced grave threats and persecution. In Egypt, Pharaoh feared the descendants of Jacob would align with the enemies of Egypt and rise up against him. He became determined to oppress God's chosen people, subjecting them to slavery and taking the genocidal step of slaughtering Hebrew male infants. After the Israelites left Egypt, Balak, the king of Moab, hired Balaam to curse Israel. Numbers 22:4-6, though he did not succeed. When the Israelites were in exile in Persia, Haman plotted the destruction of all Jewish people, but God turned his plans back on his own head. Esther 7-8. We continue to see throughout history how Jewish people were persecuted in ancient times. Antiochus IV violently tried to force Greek culture on Jewish people and wipe out Jewish culture. This oppression sparked the Maccabean revolt. Later, the Romans took control of the land of Israel and ultimately destroyed the temple. Though Jesus and his earliest followers were Jewish, the church became increasingly Gentile as the gospel spread across the Mediterranean. Many Gentile Christians grew prideful, believing God rejected Israel because the nation as a whole did not recognize Jesus as the Messiah. Church leaders claimed Christians replaced ethnic Israel in God's promises. Hatred of Jewish people became even more widespread during the Middle Ages, and the persecution intensified. This period saw the Crusades, the rise of the blood libel, the Spanish Inquisition, and numerous expulsions. Crusaders often massacred Jewish towns in Europe on their way to the Holy Land and murdered Jewish people living in Israel at the time. During the Spanish Inquisition, Catholic leaders targeted Jewish people, including those who publicly converted to Christianity but secretly practiced Judaism. In 1492, Spain expelled all Jewish people who did not renounce Judaism and convert. England, Germany, and France followed suit with their own expulsions. This history of hate set the stage for the Holocaust. Anti-Semitism, as we have charted out, stemmed from an othering mentality, including this idea that God had forever rejected the Jewish people. The Nazis put a modern spin to this age-old hatred by spreading racist theories about Jewish people. Under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, the Nazis determined that the final solution to the Jewish question was extermination. In the span of 3.5 years, 6 million Jewish people were systemically killed by the Nazis, who saw and treated them as subhuman. The Jewish people were isolated and imprisoned in ghettos where their money and possessions were confiscated, and where Jewish people were forced to live in squalid conditions. Eventually, they were herded into cattle cars and transported to Nazi death camps. Today, we commemorate International Holocaust Memorial Day. We acknowledge the unjust and cruel treatment of the Jewish people during the Holocaust. The term "never again" is a reminder to the world that we should never again allow for such hatred to exist against the Jewish people. Unfortunately, the aftermath of Hamas's October 7th attacks on Israel has proven to us that we are still in this era of never again. We are now seeing an exponential rise in anti-Semitism, and we must speak out. Here are some ways you can fight anti-Semitism. 1. Use your voice. As we remember the Holocaust this year, tell others about it. Post on your social media account, talk to a neighbor or friend, or write a letter to your local newspaper or government official. Remind the world that the Holocaust happened, and that if we do not take action against anti-Semitism, it could end up happening again. 2. Snuff out hate. If you see anti-Semitic graffiti, notify someone about it or volunteer to clean it up. If you see anti-Semitic content or comments online, report them. If you see someone attacking a Jewish person, speak up or call the police. Engage in thoughtful dialogue online with people who deny the Holocaust or deny October 7th. 3. Show your support. Join rallies and marches to show your solidarity with the Jewish community. Reach out to your local synagogue and ask how you can help. Let your Jewish friends and family members know that they are not alone in the fight against hate. Remember, today's headlines are tomorrow's history books. Now is our time to stop the hate and not let history repeat itself. We have both the opportunity and the responsibility to support God's chosen people in the name of the Jewish Messiah, Jesus. You can learn more by going to opposeantisemitism.com. Join us today in saying never again.